Shawn Yao, and this is One News Now. The Health Department is confident that all COVID-19 vaccine doses here in the Philippines will be used up. In an interview with Agenda, Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeire said they will speed up the administration of AstraZeneca shots. Vergeire also explained that most of the supply will be given as first dose before their expiration dates in June and July.
We do not need to worry because it's not going to be wasted. We still have to follow the prioritization framework of A2 and A3.
The health official also assured recipients of other vaccine brands that they will get their second jabs on schedule. She explained that the government reserves the second dose upon the administration of the first, except for AstraZeneca.
It doesn't have to be something of a worry for our citizens when it comes to their second doses, because the second doses are preserved and reserved for them so that they can complete their vaccination.
And here are other stories we're keeping our eyes on. The West Philippine Sea Task Force reports that a total of 287 Chinese militia vessels are still lingering in the municipality of Kalayaan, and both within and outside of our exclusive economic zone. National Security Advisor Hermogenes Esperon said the ships were spotted as the task force continues patrolling the West Philippine Sea amid incursions by foreign vessels. Calabarzon's police chief has been appointed as the new director of the PNP Special Action Force. Police Brigadier General Felipe Natividad was at the helm when the so-called Bloody Sunday took place back in March. And the COVID-19 death toll in India has surpassed 250,000. More than 4,200 people died in the last 24 hours, the single highest day jump in deaths. Health authorities in India are warning about a fungal infection that was found in some COVID-19 patients. They're saying that mucormycosis, also called the black fungus, can disfigure facial features and even lead to death. More details in this report by Bloomberg.
So what we know about the black fungus infection, it's also called mucormycosis syndrome in India, is that there's been a worrying number of cases that have appeared in hospitals amongst COVID patients who've been put on invasive ventilators. You know, this is a very serious infection. It involves the spores being inhaled because of contaminated water used in these ventilators. People are losing sometimes their eyesight. Doctors are having to do emergency surgery, removing their jaws so that the infection does not reach the brain. And it's just one of the very heartbreaking, awful things coming out of India as the country continues to deal with this devastating wave and the hospital system pretty much is near collapse. You know, they are linked to using contaminated water in these ventilators, not using sterile distilled water. What's really happening is that the hospitals are so overwhelmed. That's one of the reasons why this kind of contamination is happening more than before. A lot of these hospitals are just not equipped to deal with this surge of people coming in. This black fungus situation is also linked to people with diabetes, and we know that COVID and diabetes, you know, are linked as well. COVID can cause diabetes to worsen, and India is a place with one of the highest rates of diabetes in the world. So what we're seeing in India is just the confluence, a perfect storm of many health crises coming together.
And in Hong Kong, restaurant and bar owners are having a hard time following the government's bubble scheme, which is meant to boost vaccinations. Let's find out why in this Bloomberg Quick Take.
As an industry, we're being targeted. I'm told that we have to have 100% uptake on the vaccine for us to operate to almost normal capacity, which I think is unfair.
The Hong Kong government has launched a vaccine bubble scheme, which allows restaurants with vaccinated staff to relax social distancing restrictions and operate late.
The new vaccine bubble that's been announced is difficult for us as an industry to follow. There isn't, for me, a coherent, consistent messaging within the industry.
The government is looking to boost Hong Kong's inoculation drive.
This vaccine bubble is important, is a very important public health measure, so that on the one hand, we can have a safe relaxation, but on the other hand, we can also mitigate the risk associated with the relaxation.
Restaurants and bars that want to stay open until 2 a.m. require customers to show proof of at least 1 dose of COVID vaccine.
Last thing we want to be doing is asking for proof of identification or proof of vaccination records, because I think that goes against the grain of hospitality, and it's also not our job. We don't police people. We entertain, we provide a service to people.
Shane's business has been hit hard by the pandemic, just like the entire hospitality industry.
I've been working in the industry for 36 years now, and this is by far the hardest period of my career. On the bad months, like December, January, February, where we were closed for dinner and only able to operate at lunch, 50% capacity, we were down 60, 70% month on month, which obviously is huge losses.
Industry representatives have responded, saying that restaurant workers have suffered economically, and consulting a doctor for proof of vaccine exemption will add extra cost for them.
For more updates, visit News 5, The Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.